Hi everyone, this is Deidre Kindred, your nurse advocate, back again this evening with another wonderful friend. So on our health chats among friends, we just have candid conversations with one another about different topics that we specialize in. Today, I am honored to have my friend Jacqueline Ensley. Jacqueline is a private duty healthcare professional where she's a caregiver. So she actually is wonderful, guys. Hi, Jacqueline.
Hi, Deidre. How you doing this evening?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. So I thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come and just chit chat with me. So today, Jacqueline and I are going to be talking about the aspect of keeping the human aspect when you are communicating with a loved one, when you're caring for a individual, and how important that is to not lose aspect of the human touch. So, Jacqueline, so tell
Yes.
us a little bit about yourself, about your business, and just a little bit of what you want us to know.
Well, first, thank you for inviting me and having me on to be able to share my heart and my passion for love of the aging population. And I think it's so important to me that that the community, this community of individuals, these are humans, that we assist them in completing or fulfilling that gap that they are missing, where it be, assistance with showers, bathing, feeding. And so to be able to help preserve their dignity and their quality of life. And so when I started out on this journey, I bless God. I asked Him, what was I, what was I going to do? What was my purpose? And what I heard was, you are the gap, you the bridge that closed the gap, and where they are missing. It's just not with the gap for the loved one that has the chronic illness, but also to be a gap in assistance with the family, happening to walk alongside the family as they go through this, because as we know, this is new. This is a new journey for the entire family, and so my purpose is to help them, to walk alongside with them, to be there to provide what they're in need of, be it ADLs or emotional and support. And so that's a little bit about me,
Yeah.
about my heart and my passion. I really do love the aging population. And one reason is they're always teaching. Going with the
Mhm.
mindset of learning, them teaching you and how to care for them, because sometimes that is missed. We have our preconceived notions of how an individual should be cared for once they reach a certain age, but it's so important that we allow them to teach us how to care for them so they can maintain that dignity and that quality of life that they're desiring at the end of their life.
Well, you said so much there. So, first of all, I'm going to go back to gaps because that topic of being the gap filler is so huge. So, I want to say when I first met Jacqueline, she was caring for one of my clients. I was working for a home health company. And as a home health nurse, I'm coming into the home maybe once, maybe twice a week. My gap filler was Jacqueline because she was there all day, at least 12 hours a day sometimes,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes,
And
yes.
you, those are the people who are with the people we care for, and you're there. So you know the little things that could help make a change in their health care. And I wanted to say, when I first met her, I was so impressed by her compassion, her patience, her understanding, her ministry. And it's such a wonderful feeling because people like you are rare. And it is keeping the human aspect in the care. Because the people that we care for, we've been called to care for, they're human beings. They have feelings, they have ideas, they have emotions, they have things that they want to express, and they don't want to just be, ignored, or this is the way we do it, or that is the 78-year-old client, and thinking that all 78-year-olds fit into a category or umbrella. So my people that I bring on my health chats are people who have the compassion, they have the understanding, they have the expertise, they have the knowledge, and they really want to be that gap filler, and you are truly a gap filler. So tell me a little bit about some of the services. I know you mentioned ADLs, so for those who don't know what an ADL is, describe to them what an ADL is.
Good question. Actually, ADLs are, your basic things that you would do every day to get yourself ready for that day. That being showered, groomed, dressed, preparing meals. That's what I do. I prepare meals. I run errands, go need to shopping. I do laundry. I do that. Lighthouse Keeping, and I want to touch on that a little bit about Lighthouse Keeping, because it is important that as a caregiver going in to understand what the client is considering lighthouse keeping. And then because it can become confusing to some, because they think it is full house cleaning. And so I'm going to say this is that, when we say lighthouse keeping, it's helping to keep your kitchen clean, helping to keep the floors clean and vacuum, but I think I go a little far beyond sometimes, but that's the individual. So every person that comes or caregiver that comes in, they need to understand, when you say lighthouse keeping, it need to be explained. And then the caregiver could say whether or not that's one of their, whether they do that or not, or they do it willingly. But lighthouse keeping is, we don't go in and do the full dusting, but we will keep your house in an orderly manner, so that you can be pleased. So when you receive guests, it is, it's presentable. It's presentable, and we know how that is important to the community that I serve, or that other caregivers serve. They want to make sure that their homes are presentable. So so I'm gonna move on. But like housekeeping and it could be little miscellaneous things, but the ADL is the dressing, the grooming, shower, bathing, and
things we take for granted.
Hygiene, yes, that we normally do. So that's one of the things that we do. I also offer bereavement support as well, provide that emotional and spiritual support.
Oh,
that is goodness. A service that I provide.
Okay, so since you brought that up, Jacqueline, that is powerful, because lots of times when people hear the word bereavement, they think about death. It could be a death of your loss of independence. To me, that is one of the biggest deaths, a loss of independence, in addition to other physical death. That's a psychological death. And so many people, when I feel like mom or dad won't do this, or you'll hear something from a loved one, you're that glue that explains to people about how best ways they can hold on to that independence. you know,
Yes.
being safe. As long as they're safe, there's nothing wrong
Mm-hmm.
with trying to hold on to that independence. But bereavement comes in that aspect too, as a form of helping someone adjust to their new normal.
Right. And it is because they struggle with it. You know, it's hard. I mean, even for me, you know, or for ourselves, you know, can I share an instance?
Absolutely.
When I was going into one of the facilities and during the pandemic, and the residents that's in memory care, they already feel that are locked away, and that they no one is loved, and they don't understand why I've been placed in prison. Some of them see it as a jail. And so to be able to go in and share with them, this is a place where, you know, we're going to come here, we're going to have care for you, or let's just walk with them through it. Sometimes I think if we just listen, allow them to share what they're feeling, but it also in turns make me, after being locked away, to identify with the residents that's in memory care, because now, you know, we had to shut in place. And so I shared that with one of the directors. I said, you know, now we get to see exactly how they feel. This is not a good feeling. You have stole, you know, and they feel that you have taken their right away to live, you know, free. You know, we're no longer able to walk around freely. We're not able to go, you know, to different places that we once, you know, visited before all of this. So we can now truly say, I understand where you're coming from. It is not easy. It is not easy when you feel that your rights have been violated and you've been taken away and locked up and in jail, and you know, and it's scary.
That's
It
such
is
a
scary.
valid analogy. I love that because, you know, so many people don't walk in someone else's shoes until something like this. So that's a very valid point. So COVID has woken, I hope, you know, some of us up to, you know, these loved ones that we have in assisted livings or memory care. They don't understand the
Mm-hmm.
why.
Right.
And it is a way of form of, we've lost our independence, so to speak, for our
Mm-hmm.
safety, for the betterment.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the same with them being in an assisted living. They've lost a little
Yes.
independence for the betterment,
Right.
but we still don't need to lose respect. We
Correct.
still don't need to lose that, you know, empathy, not
Yes.
sympathy. There's a big difference.
Yes.
And
Yes.
and being able to relate to someone, like, okay, I understand what it feels like to be told you can't go over here, or in order to do this, you have to wear a mask.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a very powerful analogy, I think, that, you know, it's a loss of independence, and we need to have grace.
Yes. Much grace. Much
Right,
grace.
right,
Much
right,
compassion
right.
and love and understanding. You know, as you stated earlier, they're human beings,
Yeah.
and they still, whether they're at home or in a long-term care facility, they still have a right to uh, maintain their dignity. You know, that's also a problem. Is that you know, when they're there, they feel that they've lost their dignity. As a caregiver, as the gap filler, or you know, coming in, you know, how can I, as a caregiver, help them to maintain that dignity that they so desperately want to have? You know, they want to keep that. They want to keep their quality of life. How can I maintain? How can I assist you to maintain your quality of life?
Well, I think you're doing a wonderful job. I think because you
Thank
have
you.
that compassion to listen. You know, sometimes people just want us to listen to their story. Um,
Yes.
And I have no problem listening to their story, even if they tell me the story again and again, because you might hear something different this time that you didn't hear the other time. And it's knowing that I'll be there too.
Yes.
Someday.
That's it, Dee. That's it. You know, we don't know what our end is going to look like. And I'm constantly reminded, how you sow this seed will determine the harvest you'll reap, right? So how I care for, you know, my client, how I care for their family, because I don't know. Only God knows what our end is going to look like. But I do know I would want someone to love me through this situation, even understand me. It might be difficult, might be hard, but I know I would want someone that's going to listen to me, that's going to be there right there with me, that's going to love me in spite of, you know, and feel the love. We have to be genuine in our love and care. And I tell you, they do understand. They know when a person is genuine and when they're not, you know. I always say, you know, when we know, or when I know that my work, I have completed my work, or I've done my work, or what I was supposed to do, it's when the family and then the individuals say, you're a part of the family.
Oh, and that's just, oh my goodness, that makes my heart melt.
When you become, I had a couple of people, but my last client, I was feeding her. She at night she liked to have ice cream before she go to bed, and she had lost her ability to feed herself. And so as I was feeding her, and she was, you know, she had her head down, and then all of a sudden she looked up and she says, "I hope you know you're a part of this family." My heart melted. And I said, "Oh, thank you so much." And she had her head down. Then she looked up and she said, "You can believe it or not." I said, "I believe it because you told us."
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
You know, when the family or the individual that you're loving on and care for, they're able to say that you are part of the family, your work, you have done.
Yeah.
You have done your work.
That's such a wonderful feeling. It's such a blessing and an honor and a privilege to be in some of the moments we have been in people's lives. You know, that makes a big difference. So to lighten it up a little bit, because I don't want us both on here crying. Yes. So what's the name of your business?
The name of my business is Comforting Healing Hands.
And why did you choose that name?
I believe that I was, as I was seeking Lord for the name, that He gave me that. And I'll give you an example of when I did it and I got a confirmation again at one of my clients' house, the one that we met at. A neighbor came over and she asked me, she was tired, and so I was just, you know, rubbing her back and just, you know, just comforting her. And she says to me, she said, "Oh my God, you have such comforting hands." And I said, and no one knew. And I went outside to my car and I got my business card and I gave it to her. And she said, "Oh my gosh," she said, "this is so true." So it wasn't that it was something that I thought of, but I truly believe that, you know, after seeking the Lord on it, and He gave me that comforting, healing, and that's how it came about.
That's wonderful. Well, I'm telling you, you're more than just the hands comforting. I didn't mean to say just, but you are a whole aspect person, spiritually, mentally, physically. emotionally. And that all makes a difference, you know, especially when you're looking for a caregiver to be in your loved one's home. And it's such a blessing to be known as family.
Yes,
You know,
it is.
and it's a ministry too, because
Yes, it is. It is.
when you get into the clients that we serve, it's about their mother, father, sister, brother, aunts, uncles. Everybody is incorporated in that, and everybody's not at the same place.
Correct.
And you have to meet them where they are.
Right.
You know, and so that's so important for an astute caregiver such as yourself. You already know that, and I've seen your work, and I just love it. And I know you're going to do great things, and God has you on a journey, and I got bigger things planned for you.
Oh, okay. Including what God has planned out.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. So, Jacqueline, if someone needed to get in touch with you to find out more about your services and, you know, find out how you provide care for their loved ones, how can they reach you?
They can reach me via email at, and I'm going to spell it, and it's my name, Jacqueline Ensley at att.net, and that is spelled JAQUENSLEY at att.net.
Okay, wonderful. And if you forget that, I know Jacqueline personally. I can get you connected with her. I am Deidre Kindred. I'm a nurse advocate, educator, and navigator. We love helping you handle the complicated healthcare system. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you next time with another fantastic guest. Thank you.
Thank you, Deidre. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.